rough.
Yeah, I don't.
Rough couple days.
Yeah. All right, guys, you are listening or tuning into, as I should say, Pod Dammit. This, I believe, is the 16th one we've done in total, but it's only been like the third or fourth one we've done this school year. So I'm ready to get into it. I'm feeling tired, but maybe that's just a reflection of the time change. You know, it takes a long time to get over that. But I think we have a good show coming up for you guys today. We're going to talk a little bit about what are the best and worst dog names there are, Thanksgiving traditions, and our most embarrassing moments. So I hope you guys have been embarrassed at some point in time, because we're going to talk about it. I definitely have my most embarrassing moment. It's I keep it on lock. I talk about it very often. So we can get into that a little bit later. But if you guys have some spontaneous topics you want to get into, I have no problem with that either. So we're going to have a fun time. And we're going to have fun. I hope you guys have fun, because we're going to have fun. We'll all be happy.
Oh, there, I can hear you now. Okay.
You're good? You're good to go?
Okay, I can only hear
All right. So the reason I wanted to talk about the best and worst dog names is because I'm seriously considering getting a dog. It has been a bit of a journey. So I haven't gotten one yet, but I've been coming up with dog names. So I wanted to, if you're willing to have your family dog names criticized, you can go ahead and share them, because I'm sure everybody will have their own style. But everybody kind of has their own style of dog names too. Some people go with the classic, like, human name, like Hannah, Whitney, Barbara.
Well,
that's dumb.
I mentioned right before, I have 13 dogs. My mom has 13 dogs. And we named for a couple of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of them. The rest were like adopted from a shelter, so we kept their shelter names. So that's like not on us if the name is kind of terrible.
Well, that's even easier to judge, because then there's no harm.
The ones we named are Pippa, and it's because we got her right after the royal wedding in 5th grade, and my mom was obsessed with Princess Pippa, so we named her Pippa because of that. Honey, I named her because she's like white and she has like little like honey colored spots, so I named her Honey. She's also a Chihuahua that's like this big, so Honey.
Sweet.
Lucy, we also actually didn't name Lucy. She came with that name because she was my mom's friends before she was ours. And Gracie, which I did name, but I was in 3rd grade and I wanted to name her Green, and my mom wouldn't let me, so we named her Gracie instead.
That's no fair. Green's a cute name.
I know, right? It's my favorite color. The ones we got from the shelter that came with these names are Tina, Ruffles, like the chip.
Okay, I think that's fun.
Shelby, Sophie, Toby, Rosita. Billy, we named Billy.
Okay.
Princess, classic dog name.
Yeah.
Came from the shelter. Barbie.
Barbie, that's an interesting one.
Yeah. That's it. Those are the dogs.
I have a question on the green one. Is there any significance? Like, did she like the color green?
Oh, I love the color green.
So it's just you personally like green.
Yeah, it's my favorite color, and I was in 3rd grade, so I was like, let's name the dog Green, and my mom was like, no.
Wow.
Very interesting.
My first dog I got when I was 7, I really wanted to name her Taffy, and my parents said no.
My dead dog's name is Taffy.
Yeah. I'm glad that my parents kind of axed it, though, because we ended up naming her Keely, which I think is cute.
But everyone's such a cute name.
That is cute.
Everyone thinks
like
it's
key lime
Kiwi.
pie.
Yeah.
But I want to eventually, and this is like terrible because it's not adopting, it's like shopping. I want to have French Bulldogs.
Oh, those babies are expensive.
They're expensive, but they're so cute. But I want to name them French Fry and French Toast.
That's cute.
I used to have an English Bulldog, and I would not recommend a Bulldog for a pet because they are very high maintenance and have a lot of health issues.
I know. That's why I probably never will. But
yeah, like we would have to clean his wrinkles every day, clean behind his tail every day. A lot of the Bulldogs end up getting their tails amputated. Like their diet has to be a certain way. They can't withstand a lot of heat outside. Like they're like having a baby.
You also said that you have a British Bulldog, though, right?
Yeah, English.
British Bulldogs are a little bit less healthy than French dogs traditionally.
Okay, that would make sense.
Because French Bulldogs tend to be smaller and they have less wrinkles and stuff. And they're usually less obese.
A lot of breeding practices are trying to change how they breed, like with pugs and bulldogs and stuff, to make them healthier because a lot of them have like those like wrinkly, smushy face health issues.
Yeah, because they took their snouts off.
Yeah, so they're trying to like reverse
for aesthetics.
They're trying to reverse the breeding process back to like how it like used to be,
like,
so that they're like healthier.
It's like, see that mouth you got?
Not
I don't
that
like
breeding
it.
is
Yeah,
bad.
they squished it in.
I'm still like mostly 100% against breeding. I just do want a French Bulldog eventually.
Yeah.
They are cute.
They're so cute.
Well, there was one dog I was interested in getting. My family loves poodle mixes because they don't shed. And there was a sheepdoodle, and I was like, that is so cute. And so I messaged the seller, and I was like, hey, how much for your dog? And they're like, oh, $7,000. And I was like, okay.
Oh, wow.
Well, then no thank you.
$7,000.
Yeah, I was like, I'll find something else.
My mom paid $4,000 for 2 toy schnauzers.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're like this big.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
for like,
schnauzers are expensive dogs.
yeah.
Their names
I
are
had-
Coral and Kaimu.
What is
Cute.
Kaimu?
Kaimu is a beach in Hawaii that has black sand because of the
Okay.
black dog.
Oh, that's
So,
that's
kinda-
cool. That's kind of
Surprised you didn't name it Brownie.
No.
I feel like that's a
Sean-
classic. Or Oreo.
Oreo, Cole,
Yeah.
Shadow.
See, they're not basic. They have really creative names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Creative people.
Yeah.
think creatively.
But I have a list of dog names here that I'm considering, and I want you to be as brutal as you want to. It will not hurt my feelings if
Okay.
you're like, that is an ugly name. And I have to say, some of them are quite out the box. But we're just testing them, okay?
I'm always brutal.
My
You are.
favorite... Okay, I really want to name a dog Kewpie, like Kewpie Mayo.
Oh, that's cute. I think that's cute. I think that's cute.
Okay. Thoughts?
It's stupid but cute.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
I think it depends on what kind of dog you get. I feel
Yes.
like it could
Yeah.
be fitting for a certain breed, but it might not work for all
Yeah.
breeds.
If it weighs more than
I
if
think
it weighs
it would-
more than 10 pounds, I say no.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
fair
it works for like a toy. Like
Yeah.
you
Like
were
a small
saying,
dog.
you were thinking about like an Australian Shepherd. Right?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what
Yeah,
I love.
I think that dog wouldn't match that.
Yeah,
name.
it would,
No.
it would outgrow it.
Now, this is one I saw on TikTok, and I thought it was really cute, so I wrote it down. I feel like it would work for like a boy dog. I don't know about a
Automatically no.
girl dog. Howdy.
Oh, okay, that's fine. That's fine.
It's cute, but it's like very Texas.
It is.
So
It is.
I guess I mean, we live in Texas. I'm from Texas, but I don't know. I'm not a big Texas culture person, so I'm gonna
That's fair.
say no just because of the
Okay.
Texas.
Don't move to the West Coast if you keep that name.
Yeah, one of my bosses at work, actually, her dog's name is Alamo, and I was just like, that's so Texas to do that.
It is. But for some reason, I'm like,
What?
that's cute.
So she could what? So she never forgets him.
Yeah, never forget.
I guess so.
This one I think is a little basic, but
Name
I
my
do
dog.
like it.
Sorry,
No, go for it. Go for it.
I was like, I named my dog 911.
I was waiting for that to happen. But this one I think is a little basic, but I do really like it. Matcha.
I love
Matcha?
that. I do love
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
Like the latte.
Yeah, I love. I personally love
Matcha,
matcha. See, I was trying to think. I love chai, but I was like, I don't think chai is a good dog name.
I have
but
a
matcha.
friend that named her dog Chai, and it looks...
Chai's a great dog name.
Yeah, and it's so fitting, too, because its coat is, like, white, and also, like, it has, like, chai-colored spots almost, like, that are similar to a chai latte. So
Yeah.
I want to
I
meet
think
a
it's
chow
cute.
chow named Chai, so it can be Chai
Yeah.
Chai.
Oh, that's cute. This one also I love, but I can't explain why. It comes from high school, but I want to name my dog Floss.
Floss.
Not Flossy, Floss.
Just leave the room.
Yeah.
No,
I don't know how I feel about that.
that's a strong no.
I think it's kind of cute, but it's also like
It's a little offbeat.
yeah.
Well, I also have this on the list. I don't know if I've ever seriously considered it, but mouthwash.
Okay, floss is better than the mouthwash.
Mouthwash. There's sometimes it's like you want to abuse the power by naming your dog something ridiculous. Like I was
Yeah.
like, root beer would be funny, but I'm like, I don't want a dog named
Harry,
root beer.
are you wanting to be a dentist in the future?
No.
Like,
Because
do you know-
both of those names are like if you're a
I
quirky
name it oral
dentist.
hygiene.
Do you know Noodle the pug on TikTok?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, like the pug's name is Noodle. There's also
Yeah.
like this cat on TikTok named Pot Roast. Like
Pot roast is so cute though.
Pot Roast is so
I
cute.
Yeah.
can't
We
remember
are the pets gods.
the video game franchise, but there's a character he would always have dogs, and he'd always name it Dog Meat because he didn't want to
Oh.
get attached to the dog,
Oh.
so he called it Dog Meat.
There was a dog I saw at a pet store one time named Diggity because it's
Diggity.
Diggity Dog.
Ah,
Oh, that's
diggity
cute.
dog.
Diggity, I like that.
Okay, this is more rapid fire. Tuesday, Ladybug, Cherry, and Ferris.
Ferris.
Tuesday, yes. Ladybug, depending on the breed.
Yeah.
What was the other two?
Cherry and Ferris.
Cherry, I'll say yes. Ferris, I don't know.
Ferris is kind of cute.
Ferris is after
Ferris.
Ferris Bueller.
I figure.
Yeah.
Ferris and Cherry, okay, the rest, no.
Yeah,
I think Ferris, if it's the right. Ferris is a very like blue healer name to me.
Yeah. yeah. I like it because my friend in high school called me Ferris after Ferris Bueller, so it's like, I like it. I don't know. I don't know.
think it's cute. Cute enough.
My
I think
sis-
Ferris would be a good dog name, like when you're at the dog park. Like, come on, Ferris. Like everyone, I think would find it cute.
But once again, I feel like it's better for a boy dog than a girl dog.
Yeah.
But I
I
don't
agree.
really know if that matters. We don't see gender in animals.
There's like this $20,000 Russian bear fighting dog that I want.
Oh, wow.
I can't
Is
have
it those
it.
giant dogs?
Yeah, they're
Like the
bred.
Mastiff?
They're bred to fight bears in Russia.
Malamutes?
They're just they're like 250 pounds. Like these are massive
Oh my
dogs.
god! Is that even considered a dog at that point?
Yeah, it's a dog.
It's considered a
Jeez.
beast.
Bio-
But they cut their
biologically,
earlobes off because of the frostbite. So you
I
can't see
wanna
their
Google
ears.
this. I mean, what did you say? It's a Russian
bear fighting dog.
bear fighting.
Wait, that's the name of the breed?
Yeah. Well, that's the. It has an official name, but I don't
They're
know.
huge.
But I want to name it Drago.
Jake,
looks so
that dog would
cuddly.
kill you in its sleep.
No,
Yeah,
it
it
looks
would.
so
Trying to cuddle.
friendly.
You gotta raise it from a
looks
baby,
Okay, I'm
and it'll
Googling
be
this
your.
now.
Yeah,
It
it'll
looks
kill
so
you.
cuddly.
It's kind of like raising tigers. There is a chance they could kill you, but at the same time, they might not.
There's a big chance.
That's crazy.
If you ever piss that off for
Oh,
a
I
second,
know
it would just
exactly
like.
what you're talking about.
more about
I
it.
love
Yeah.
these. It's a Tibetan Mastiff.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are cool. I like big dogs.
There's like one picture on Google where it's up from a side angle and it's jumping and it just looks like it's gonna eat your face off.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, that's not it.
Not the picture.
That's not the dog. No. They had a YouTube video about the dog. Here, I'll look it up.
Russian bear fighting dog.
Yeah.
Okay.
It looks crazy.
It says Russian bear fighting dog meme.
I'll show the
It's
picture.
still just bringing up Mastiff.
Well, there's a
but-
particular picture
It says
about it.
it's a Caucasian Ovcharka
I think that is the name of them.
or a Caucasian mountain shepherd or Caucasian mountain dog.
Mhm.
This is what you need to know from the K9 web.
Jeez.
Oh, here's the picture that I liked.
Yeah, that is huge. I feel like you'd think that's like Bigfoot if you saw that in person.
Yeah,
Oh
that
my
dog.
God.
That's the dog I want.
Yeah. That dog looks like it would murder you in its sleep.
Yeah, I like things that can kill me. But I like women and dogs.
Oh my god.
I dated a guy one time whose sister had a wolf.
Yeah?
What?
Why did he have a wolf?
It was domesticated, or he just knew a wolf and
He just knew a guy.
Yeah, it was like some
No,
guy.
it doesn't know a guy. He just knew a
This is actually more common than y'all.
Yeah,
probably
some
realize.
guy that they knew like had domesticated wolves, and they would crossbreed them because apparently that makes them safer to domesticate. As
'cause
if
it's
they're-
illegal to own wolves. You can have wolf dogs because they're like less percentage of them are like.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So it was like he would crossbreed wolves and dogs, but like that dog was huge. It
Yeah.
was huge and like pure white with yellow eyes. It looked terrifying.
And
Yeah,
Texas,
my cousin had one
in
of
Texas
those.
by law, you have to have like a huge privacy fence and you have like a concrete bottom because those
Oh,
dogs.
they lived in the middle of the desert.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, well, those dogs can just jump over the fence apparently because they're wolves basically,
Mm-hmm.
and you can't have a baby if you
No,
your kid has to be older
no, yeah, absolutely.
if you have a wolf dog.
Yeah.
According with your Caucasian Russian sheepdog, they are used in Russian prisons to help keep prisoners in line.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Jake
Surprisingly,
has a
I
prison
like
dog.
when dogs are used to like enforce things. I like it when like they like just let the dogs be. I don't like it when they like make them fight or like
Par-
make them
Yeah.
be I don't even like the idea of German shepherds like
Parry
being
number two,
forced
parry
to
number
work
two.
as
Being
cop
canine
dogs.
cop
Like sometimes
dogs.
I'm like, is that right? Like I don't know.
Parry number 2. This is a Russian dog. This
Yeah.
dog is about murder
he's from-
and eating people.
This dog is from Mother Russia. He does not
Russian
care
dog.
about
I don't
your
like
American
that.
moral principles.
They look so cuddly though. Like I can't.
Yeah, I
even
kinda wanna
see
cuddle with it,
like-
too.
It does say that they
Yeah.
have cropped ears to avoid predators from biting and clinging onto them.
Those bitches lied to me. Oh,
Oh, who lied to you?
supposed to be frostbite.
Yeah. But it also says that they are actually a very low energy kind of dog, so they only need 60 minutes of exercise a day.
So they're big cuddlers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Big
that's what I'm talking
cuddlers,
about.
Jay.
That's
It
what I
says
want.
make sure to
They
keep
are-
your
they
mountain
want
dog
the
on a
cuddle.
leash. Not only to be safe, but he can be very intimidating because of their size and scare your neighbors.
I'm sure during the
Yeah.
summer,
The
though,
doggy
they would
wants to
get
cuddle
so
Jake.
hot. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'd have to move to like New York
To
own it,
Russia.
or Russia.
Yeah.
Or Alaska.
Man, yeah,
Yeah.
basically Russia.
They
It
pay
says-
you
Anywhere
$1,000
cold.
just to live there.
I gotta shave all its fur off.
Jake,
says-
if you did get that type of dog, would you try and train it like in its native tongue?
I
Like, would
wanna-
you try and teach
yeah.
it Russian commands instead of English commands?
Yeah, Russian commands. I wanted to like
No, make it bilingual.
If anyone blinks at you, eat them. That's what I want. Eat on sight.
You could have a bilingual dog. Half
Right.
English, half Russian.
Привет, Conrad.
Right.
Wonderful.
Here is some maintenance tips on a Russian sheepdog.
Oh, thank you.
Frequent brushing twice a week. You also need to brush their teeth 2 to 3 times a week.
Oh, wow.
And clip their
Oh.
nails regularly and clean their ears and dry them weekly to avoid infection.
Oh.
Is that only if the ears are cropped, though?
I don't know. Doesn't specify.
Man, that's for wimpy Americans. I want a Russian dog. The only thing you're washing your teeth with is blood. That's
They
what we're
eat-
doing.
Bear blood, as
Bear.
he hunts the bear.
They
Yeah,
eat
alright.
There's too much maintenance for that one.
Yeah.
a total of 8 to 10 cups of dry food per day.
Only
That's
Russians.
a lot.
Yeah.
Oh my
That-
god.
They're big boys.
That's all I'm feeding is
Big
Russians.
boy
Yeah.
need big Russian meal.
That's all I'm feeding is Russians.
Just the Russians.
Russia.
Jake is gonna take over Russia by
With my army
an
of-
army of dogs.
army of
just
dogs.
take over.
Surprisingly, from a breeder, they can only cost between $1,000 and $3,000, which I feel like for a breeder is pretty low.
That
Yeah.
video lied
Yeah.
to me.
Do you guys
There's
know
so
about
many things that
Moscow's
I'm like,
dog
I'm finding out
problem?
is false.
I like
Skylar?
that you just put blind faith into a random YouTube video.
Yeah.
And you're-
I was like, I could never get this dog. $20,000, and I'm like, I
Yeah.
can afford that.
What's Skylar?
Well, I was gonna say, do you guys know about Russia's like dog problem? Like, there's so many like dogs on the streets of like Moscow
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
it's normalized that dogs have like their own like little subway that they use to get around town.
Subway.
Yeah, like they have like a little offshoot of the like normal like subways that just dogs go on.
it probably isn't cute, but it sounds
Subway
cute.
is in like an underground tunnel, or
Russia's so
subway
messed up.
is in
Their
like
dogs
a train.
have their own
yeah,
society.
Yeah.
like a train.
Okay,
Yeah.
I don't necessarily condone the show Big Mouth, but have you guys seen it?
No.
Yes, I have.
You know-
Unfortunately.
Oh, yes, I have.
I
Yeah.
only saw the episode that
I-
Rise showed us.
I hate that show.
You know,
Rise showed an episode of Big Mouth.
Yeah, they like came
Ew.
to my class multiple
Ew.
times.
but
and,
you
like, they showed
know
us an episode of Big
how
Mouth.
Jay's dog has
Yes,
feelings. Like that's
yeah.
what I think of with these dogs.
That's cute.
He's very
I feel
emotional.
bad for Jay's dog.
Yeah, I do too.
Hmm.
But anyway, I don't, it's like not a good show, but I can't help but watch every season that comes
Same.
out.
I just started watching the latest season with my boyfriend, and we're both like disgusted, but we
Yes,
can't stop.
yeah.
we
It's
can't.
not funny.
It's not, but I also like, I don't know, I'm so invested in it for whatever reason.
Right.
Like, is it like a relatability thing? Or?
I honestly don't know because the concept of the show is honestly quite disgusting, and they
Yeah.
are very like explicit with how they represent stuff. But for some reason, I'm just like, you know what? I'm there.
Yeah,
feel
I'm
like-
attracted
feel like
to
it's not-
cringe humor, so I feel like that's why I like it because I just
Yeah.
cringe and it just I don't know.
There is a sense of relatability to it though, and I kind of like the mythical aspect of it, you know, because we all know about like Santa Claus and whatever, but instead these are hormone monsters, and kind of I don't know.
I want to say it's unrealistic because I think the male monster needs to be intensified by 10, and then I'm like, all right, that's accurate to males.
He's
Really?
already
He's already
yeah.
so intense.
Well,
No,
don't they
no.
also diversify it into,
Quadruple
like,
that.
even more than the hormone
Quadruple
monsters?
that, and then that's
Yeah, they-
realistic.
Yeah, they have
Yeah.
a shame monster,
And
and
now
they
there's,
have
like,
a
a
love
mosquito
bug.
thing.
This season
Yeah.
is gonna
That's
be
the anxiety
is
mosquito thing. I
Yeah.
think
there's
it's
the
anxiety.
this season they have the
love bug.
love bug, and what's the snake? The hate snake.
yeah.
Or the jealousy snake or
Yeah.
whatever.
So I kind of like the mythicality aspect of it too, because if I was 13, first of all, my parents would not allow me to watch that show. But if I was 13, I'd be like, oh, I can't wait for my hormone monster and like all of these
Oh,
cool things that's
yeah.
gonna happen to me.
I would hate to have a hormone monster. Oh
I
my
would
god.
too. They give very bad advice.
Yes.
All guys have hormone monsters.
Yeah. Yeah. Hormone. They have hormone demons.
I've seen dark things, Barry.
Yeah,
I've seen
I
dark
know.
things.
I have a
We've
feeling.
discussed this.
All
no,
right.
we haven't. No, we haven't.
Maybe we'll discuss it in therapy.
Off-
Not for the podcast, for
I
a
agree.
therapist.
off air.
Yeah.
Or you can put it into your show tonight.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. Trauma makes people funny.
Yeah.
It's
No.
true.
Yeah. Okay, here are the rest of my dog names. My sister got a little black dog, and I really wanted to name it Cricket because it was black. Then I also like the name Socks, Leaf, and Twiggy.
I love those. I love
Thank
all
you.
of those.
I like Twiggy.
Twiggy.
I like naming animals after inanimate objects.
Yeah, I do too.
Hence French fry and French toast.
I like names that you don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Like
I'm
Like-
cool with-
like your
I
dog
like
that's
Twiggy.
named
Like
after
What about
Twiggy.
Cocomelon?
Twiggy. I'm like, what is a Twiggy? I'm like, no.
You
idea.
don't know Twiggy the model?
No.
She was on America's Next Top Model as a judge. She's blonde hair.
Oh no, I thought you meant
Yeah.
twigs like sticks.
Both. I mean, it's
I
it's
thought you
double.
meant the model.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
America's Top Model. I totally have seen
Yeah.
that.
No,
show
but she was a
before.
famous model like in the 60s.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
didn't know
I
that.
remember the '60s quite well.
Well, if you were into fashion,
Yeah.
Jake,
I
you would know.
She's pretty
I didn't know
popular.
that.
Yeah,
Jake.
her makeup's very iconic too. So
Of course, makeup. I should have known.
I'm gonna need you to tone down the sass, or I'm turning off your microphone. But yeah, my friend Trisha has a dog named Steven, and I feel like that's too.
Steven?
It's too weird to have a real name for a
It'd be
dog.
one if it was like Stevie or even Steve, but the fact
Yeah,
that it's Steven
Steven.
is
Yeah.
like,
Well,
I
wait,
had a
too
professor named
official.
Steven, and my friend's ex-boyfriend's name is Steven. I know too
Oh,
many Stevens for
yeah.
a dog.
I'm
to
surprised. I
be
feel like
named
Steven isn't a popular name for our generation.
I mean,
I feel
the
like it
professor
isn't
was
either. I
definitely older.
don't think I've met a Steven.
I know one, but
I have a
and who
cousin
happens
and
to be
a friend,
Russian.
so,
Never met a Steven I liked.
My uncle's name is Steven. Take it back.
I
Just
like your
kidding.
uncle.
No, you're valid. If you met him, you're valid. Just kidding, Uncle Steven. It's a joke.
No, it's
is that
not.
the
Yeah.
Russian? Your uncle's is that the Russian?
No, the Russian was this other kid named Steven. I went to elementary school with him, and his dad and my dad were friends.
Oh wow.
Mm.
So yeah, there you go. Stevens.
Steven is not a name I think would a Russian person would have.
Yeah, I don't know. His dad's name was. I don't know if I should give away so much information.
Well, I mean, there is a V.
Hey, in Russia, he's
there's like a
unique.
V in it.
He has a
Yeah.
unique
I could see
name
it
in
being
Russia.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. They gave him a very cool name in Russia.
You know how many Romanov and Dragonovs and
Yeah, he had a
Dragon
Russian
Ball
last
Z's there
name.
are in Russia?
Vladimir.
Yeah, and it's like Steve.
Steven.
But all the girls are like, Steve.
Oh my God, Steven.
Yeah.
What a cute name.
What's better, Steven with a PH or with a V?
I hate the
PH.
PH.
V.
I hate the PH. It's like, your name is Stefan.
Stefan.
Yeah, I always read it as Stefan or Stefan.
Yeah, your
Yeah.
name is Stefan. Not,
And then I
forget
think
that
of-
Well,
Stefan
that's where, like,
stuff.
Stefan
Your name is
Sleeping
Stefan.
Stefan.
Beauty. And then I think of Sleeping Beauty, King Stefan.
Steven was a V.
Okay.
V. I'm a V.
This little
I'll vote for V.
Transylvania.
Steven with a V.
Do you guys have any other like dog names on your potential dog name list, or is there any dog names that you think are the absolute worst and you would never wish that upon any animal ever?
This was a name we almost named our dog. We didn't end up doing it, but we almost did Pogo because she
That's
liked
cute.
to jump
That's
all the
Cute.
time.
That's
Yeah.
very cute.
that's
though.
What about the
cute.
name Nintendo?
Honestly,
think that
yes.
could be cute.
Honestly, yes.
Yeah, there's a dog. He's a famous comedian, and his dog's name is Bluetooth, and I love it so
Oh,
much.
wow.
I'd name a dog Kirby.
Yeah,
Oh, that's cute.
I thought you were going to mention Petunia from John Mulaney because that's
Oh,
a
no.
famous
That's a
dog.
French bulldog.
Because he has it in his comedy specials. He
Yeah.
has Petunia. in the
Petunia,
special.
Yeah.
who sounds like a 40-year-old smoker in his head.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, my great aunt, she had a dog named Dusty, and I always hated that. I was like, oh, sorry, girl,
Dusty's
but
a sad name.
it is. It was, and I was like, and she was like a toy Yorkshire Terrier.
Oh wow.
And so she was very little, and so I'm like, well, it makes sense that she's Dusty, but I don't. I feel bad that her name is Dusty.
I had a chihuahua named Carmelita.
Carmelita.
I always called her Lita.
Is that
That's
cultural
cute.
appropriation?
I mean, it was a Mexican dog.
No, my chihuahua's name is Rosita.
Yeah.
She would
'Cause
always, she would
Ita-
always sit on my head.
Ita
Yeah.
just means little.
Okay.
They were just
Yeah.
respecting the
So
culture.
Yeah, yeah, it was
So
from the
Carmelita
culture.
is little Carmel.
Did
Rosita's little
the
Rose.
Taco Bell Chihuahua have a name?
No.
Yes, it did have
Oh.
a name.
What was it?
I don't remember. But I
Was
know
it-
it had a name.
Wasn't it?
It was really stereotypical.
Yeah, wasn't it
wasn't
like really?
I was gonna see, but if you look on Pet Finder to find
It was
dogs,
like Jose or something like that.
I think it was.
Really?
I'm gonna Taco Bell.
I'm on it.
Taco Bell dog name.
Chihuahua.
But I was like looking on Pet Finder to find dogs, and this one's horrible. This dog's name is Bushy.
Oh, okay. Apparently, the Taco Bell's dog's name was Gidget.
But that's like
Gidget.
but that's like the real dog. But
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Good point. Hold on.
but
What did they name it?
The character?
yeah,
Yeah,
what was the character?
I don't know.
This dog's name is
But
Kindle.
like in Beverly Hills Chihuahua, the dog.
Yeah.
What were the dog's names? It was
New comedian
Oh,
Kindle.
it's literally just called the Taco Bell
It's back
Chihuahua.
Yeah. So
He has no name.
in the commercial. The Chihuahua doesn't have any names.
Oh, okay. Well, he does have a
That's
name.
why he didn't stick around. They weren't
It's a
creative
dog.
enough.
The dog has a name.
The dog's name was Gidget, but the
Dog's name is Gidget.
character's name didn't exist. It was
Oh,
just
okay.
Taco Bell Chihuahua.
That's boring. All right.
Good thing he's dead.
Yeah.
Well, I don't. I wouldn't say that. But rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
If I wish I had the Taco Bell sound effect. The ding.
Dude,
Um,
not rest in peace. Live Moss.
Live Moss
Liv
Taco
Moss.
Bell
Live Moss,
dog.
little homie.
Oh, my.
And on the topic of food, we can get into Thanksgiving traditions because I can't imagine we're going to have another Pod Dammit before Thanksgiving comes up. So wanted to cover all of our bases.
Okay.
And within just this one single November edition of Pod Dammit.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on Thanksgiving? Are you excited for it? Do you hate it?
I hate Thanksgiving.
It's my least I hate it.
I hate Thanksgiving too. I feel like I'm with my people.
I've never enjoyed it. I don't like it. It's
Yeah.
never been like a big thing. Like my family lives all up north, so like we've never done like giant family Thanksgiving dinners or anything like that. I'm not really into like mass quantities of food. It just makes me uncomfortable. I really only care about mashed potatoes and bread. So
Okay.
Well,
Mashed potatoes and bread.
Not only that,
That's
but
so
you have to do
interesting.
leftovers like that night, that lunch, the day after.
Oh,
like,
the leftovers are the best part. My family
But it
throws
gets, like,
down
old,
every
'cause-
year.
Throws down.
Because
It
after
does
like
not
2 or
get
3 days
old.
of it, you're like, okay, I'm kind of done with turkey now.
and like on
No.
principle, I don't like Thanksgiving.
My family hates Thanksgiving food, so we just make some dope meal.
See, that's what I
Oh,
want
that's
so
I
bad.
respect that.
I want
Yeah.
that so bad, and every year I suggest it to my family, and they're like, "No, Cornish game hen," and I'm like, "Okay,
Gotta
Yeah.
be traditional.
yeah." I'm just like,
Cranberry
That's
I
the
think
problem
it's-
with Thanksgiving. It's like everybody makes it where you have to eat a very traditional meal, but like
Yeah.
technically it's just about coming together, so it shouldn't matter what you make.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my family is like Creole, so like we don't really make traditional Thanksgiving. We just make like gumbo, just like Cajun food. Yeah.
I don't
So
go.
we
so I
That's
don't.
what we did
We
last
don't.
year.
Oh, are you
even
from
the
Louisiana?
turkey. Oh, my family is from there.
Okay.
But yeah, like they don't even make a traditional turkey. My family fries the turkey, and I've never tasted it
That
because I
sounds
just
so
feel like that's weird to do.
it
but, like,
sounds good. Yeah.
They
I don't wanna
just
fry the turkey.
it's yeah. My
I don't-
family is weird.
I don't like Thanksgiving so much. I haven't gone home for it the past 3 years.
Oh wow.
I tried to convince my parents to come here this year. But my mom's like, "No, I have work." So she's a working girl. She's valid, but I always hated it because it's like right before finals, so you make a trip home and then you have to turn around, come right back.
Yeah,
And
that's
it's-
the other thing. I don't see a point in going home
Yeah.
for 2 days.
And I can't even like concentrate or enjoy myself on Thanksgiving because I'm like, I have this final coming up and this one, and I got to do this final
Exactly.
project, and it's not relaxing. I
We
did
have-
accounting on Thanksgiving last year.
Very different focuses in life.
Yeah, you focus on food and family.
No, I just don't focus on finals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, every to each their own.
Right.
Yeah.
yeah, I was telling like my friend back like 2 years ago, the first time I didn't go home, that I wasn't going home for Thanksgiving. He was like, "Oh my God, well you could come," because he lives in Lubbock. He's like, "You could come with me and my family," and I was like, "You don't understand. I don't like Thanksgiving. Like
Yeah.
I do not want to be there for a reason."
Well, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Another factor too is like how interesting your family is, because Thanksgiving can really drag if like there's nothing to talk about and your family's really boring, or like tension. This isn't really with
Yeah.
my family, but maybe y'all's. It's like
Well, we used to. So now we used to be my whole like mom's side of the family would get together, and then everyone started complaining about how that was so hard. So now we just do our own like intimate, immediate family
Yeah.
Thanksgivings.
And like I said, like never been like that for
yeah,
me.
I do love the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade though.
Oh yeah, that's always fun.
Yeah.
My friend's
Especially
gonna
when
be in that
things
this
go
year.
wrong.
Cool.
It makes for great TV.
Yeah, it does. And I
I
just
love watching them deflate.
do you guys celebrate Thanksgiving for lunch or for dinner, or like just
Lunch,
somewhere in
dinner.
between?
Lunch.
It's usually like 5 p.m. dinner. But
Yeah.
dinner.
Yeah.
Me and my mom start cooking at like 7 in the morning, and then it's ready by like noon or 1 o'clock, and then we just eat all day.
Oh, that's another thing too. It makes me feel like a horrible child, but I hate cooking, and so anytime my mom asks me to help cook for Thanksgiving, I'm like, oh.
I've set
Two
things on
things I
fire
hate.
so many times. My parents don't ask me to help.
Dude,
anymore.
life hack. I'm doing that.
I'm always like at dinner time with Thanksgiving. I'm like, so mom, you gonna make some other stuff or what?
Yeah.
She's always like, says words I can't say.
My mom
Yeah.
also knows if it was like
Yeah.
up to me, I wouldn't make half of what they make every year. So like, she just knows there's no point in asking me to help.
Yeah. Maybe I'll come up with something good.
does y'all's family do like any unique Thanksgiving
No.
deal? Like,
No, we're not
dishes?
fun.
I just,
I just told you the only thing I care about is mashed potatoes and bread.
Because some families like to do like really like creative things, like turducken and stuff like that.
oh,
Well, my family, this is something sweet my mom has done for me before. My family loves steak, and I don't. And so my mom made me chicken Kiev one year, and then the rest of the family had steak, and I was like, oh,
That's sweet.
Mom.
That's kind of neat.
Moms,
Yeah.
moms can be great.
yeah, they can't. She came in clutch.
2 Thanksgivings ago, we had duck wings.
Oh,
Just the wings?
Okay.
gosh.
You know how in...
No, I said freaking.
Oh.
Okay, okay. You on strike number 2, maybe.
I said
But you
One and a
know,
half.
I think it's China. It's a tradition to eat Kentucky Fried Chicken for
Yes,
Christmas.
They
That's
love
so funny.
They love
Yeah.
KFC.
So I'm like, why can't I have KFC for Thanksgiving?
Well,
Why
in
can't I have
China,
Panda
it's a
Express for Thanksgiving?
tradition just to eat food in general.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh, I'm not going home for Thanksgiving. I was gonna say I want to convince my mom to just get like Chinese food for Thanksgiving.
That would be so good.
I love lo mein.
So do I.
That's
Girl,
pretty.
we are
That's
seeing eye
pretty
to
good.
eye today. Yeah, I want to just do something different. I get tired of the same old boring turkey and food. I've even tried to I love roast, like a roast beef. So I've tried to convince my mom to do that, but never works out. So we don't do anything fun. We're not fun people. I don't know. I just kind of like to skip over it and get to Christmas.
Do y'all's family ever like play games or anything?
Yes, my family plays. It's not a popular game, but like we play spades, and like everyone like has like a partner, and like they just play all night long, and like there's rivalries and drama, and
What's-
everyone's kind of a little bit drunk, so it's really funny.
What's spades?
It's like a card game where you have a partner and you play with like another team, and
It's like with traditional card deck, right?
yes, traditional card deck, and each like card has a value. And basically, you're trying to get a certain, like, you're trying to beat the team by getting a certain number of books in the same way that, like, when you play the game War, like, whoever has the biggest value wins. So it's kind of similar to that in a way, but it's, like, with a partner, and there's, like, a strategy involved in it. Honestly, you'd be better off
Okay.
Googling it, but because it's a little bit hard to explain, but that's, like, the gist of it.
Fair enough. Yeah.
We always play Sequence. That's like our family game. Have any of you ever played that?
No.
It's kind of like a traditional like card game, like with cards mixed with bingo, kind and poker,
Interesting.
like the three of those combined. If that makes
That
sense.
sounds fun.
Yeah. I will have you know, DG loves spades.
Oh, wow.
He made me play one time, and there was a lot of rules to learn.
It was at the
Yeah.
Halloween party, right?
Yeah, I was at the Halloween party.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a staff Halloween party, and he wanted to play spades the whole entire time. I love the game BS, and so I was
Oh,
trying to
yeah,
convince him to play
that's
BS, and he was like, "No, spades." I was like, "Okay." Yeah,
They always play it in the morning of middle school, like before school started. The whole everyone line up on
Yeah.
a table and play BS.
it's so fun, especially when you do have big groups, because anytime a card gets put down, you're like, "Oh, that's BS," because the
Yeah.
deck is spread so thin.
Yeah.
But
You gotta be real careful with what you're putting down.
yeah, but I think maybe we can come up with some fun traditions for this upcoming Thanksgiving. I don't know. Maybe I will play a game with my family. We haven't in a hot minute. But maybe I can convince them. Maybe think of something. Chinese food does sound good, though.
I'd love to do
I kind of want to do that. Because I'm like, to me, a
Maybe-
dinner makes more sense for like Christmas dinner.
Maybe try to pitch it as kind of like just an untraditional Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
kinda
we just do
thing.
something fun.
Wait, do you want real Chinese food or do you want American Chinese food?
I don't, like, what's...
Define what you're saying.
'Cause
Yeah.
real Chinese food is like very slimy, like squids and... Because they
Well,
don't fry
you're
anything
talking
in real
about
Chinese food.
Japanese.
No, I'm talking
Okay.
about real Chinese food. Real
Well,
Chinese food.
food's not really seafood. Generally.
No, they do. They don't really.
Fight,
they don't.
fight,
Like, they don't like. They don't like to fry their food in actual China. So it's all
Yeah.
like a lot of just like most Asia. It's like raw meat. They like
Yeah.
like a lot of raw stuff.
Yeah.
So they don't really cook.
I think, okay, this is
Besides their ducks, I
more
like cooking ducks.
Japanese, but I think I could pitch it because my mom and sister love sushi. So I'm like, maybe we like just make it like an Asian dinner and we incorporate all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could work.
It'd be fun.
Have you guys? Do any of you have like vegetarian members of your family?
My sister's vegan.
One. I never talked to her.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Well, they don't come to every Thanksgiving because they live all the way like in Virginia, but sometimes they come down, and it's really interesting because you have to provide for them. So we've had like some like non-meat turkey and stuff, and that's pretty
Tofurkey?
weird. Yeah, yeah.
Tofurkey.
I've never had tofu, but I keep seeing like recipes on TikTok for it, and now I kind of
Yeah.
want to try it.
I tried it once. My parents are not vegetarian. They love meat. But we went to an Indian wedding a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, that's like my dream to go to one of those.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, but of course they were vegetarian, and so they had a lot of different tofu dishes. My mom was like, "This chicken is so good," and I was like, "Mom, that's not chicken." So if you season it right, you can't even tell.
Yeah.
But I was like, "No chicken is gonna be perfectly cubed," so I don't.
You didn't. I went to an Indian wedding like 4 years ago, but they were a part of a different sect of Hinduism, so they
Yeah.
ate meat. So it was way better food.
Well, I love naan.
Oh,
yeah.
naan
Yes.
is
I
amazing.
love bread.
So I ate a lot of naan, and they had so they didn't like say what anything was.
I was
So
so
I was just
confused for
eating
a second.
stuff.
I was like, non what?
Yeah. So I just
the
ate a lot of
bread.
food that I did not know what it was, but they did have. I've never tried eggplants before because I was a picky eater growing up, and I just never got around to it. So I tried eggplants, and they were really good. So
Good for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Indian food always has like the best spices. Like,
Yeah.
it's so good.
Why do you think the English went there?
yeah,
Oh God.
that's true. And this is Americanized Indian food, but Tikka Shack is one of my favorite places. I love it so
Technically,
much.
that's British. Because tikka masala and all that originated from England. So,
Well, it
Well,
was
they do.
created
They
by a
consider
Texas
it to be like-
yeah,
if you-
yeah,
But
it's
is it
technically-
fun
it's
to
like-
have the technicality?
but if you speak to like someone who's like from India and you
Yeah.
say, I love tikka masala and all that, like, oh, you like British Indian food.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's true.
I'll keep that in mind next time I go there.
Yeah, Perry,
Yeah.
turn your mic.
I'm so embarrassed. I'm so embarrassed, you guys.
Uncultured.
Well, speaking of being embarrassed,
Yeah.
do you guys have a most embarrassing moment that you can like recall? Mine was from when I was younger.
My life.
Yeah.
I don't feel
That embarrassing
shame
moment when you're
most of the
born.
time.
I feel like
Can I go back
mine is
inside?
just like every single time I've waved to someone and realized that they're not actually waving to me. I
Yeah.
feel like every time
Yeah.
that's happened, that's pretty embarrassing.
Well, they always give you like a really mean look, like
Yeah.
it's like I was just trying to wave.
Or when you think it's like someone's talking to you and they're not, and you're like, what? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There was one when I was younger when I was waiting for my mom to pick me up from school, and I thought I saw her, so I started like running up to this woman, and it was not my mom.
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah.
I've done the set so many times.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't know why, like in 8th grade, like I guess a lot of women at my middle school had like the same car.
Yeah.
So I just got in this woman's car after school. I'm just sitting there
Oh,
for 25 minutes and
no.
she doesn't know I'm there, but she kind of looks like my mom from the back.
Yeah.
And then her daughter gets in the car and
She
she goes, they're like, hey, Jake, are you coming home with us today? I'm like, what?
That's so nice, though.
I was like, oh, wrong guy. And I got
Yeah.
out.
So hilarious.
Yeah.
I've never
Did the
gotten
mom not
Funny.
notice you at all?
The mom didn't. She did it because she just thought, like,
She
I
was
guess,
expecting her daughter.
well, she had more than one kid.
Oh.
Because, anyways, so she just thought I was one of the kids.
Yeah.
So she was just like, she was reading a magazine. Yeah, it was a magazine. And then her kid got in, and then I got out and went in
Oh
my
my
mom's car.
God.
Were you like so scared to see her at school the next day?
No. What was the word I'm looking for? She didn't know I existed, besides the fact that
Yeah.
she knew that I had a name.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay.
So I
She's like the weird kid that gets in people's cars.
Like, you see
Yeah,
her
yeah, that
across
was
the
me.
playground and is like, oh, that's the guy that's
Yeah.
in the car yesterday.
Yeah.
That was a weird kid for a lot of reasons, but
I never got in somebody's car. I'm very glad that that's never happened to me. But one of my most embarrassing moments was when I was a child. But I was gonna go up to my crush on the playground and get him to sign my yearbook.
Oh no.
So I handed him my yearbook, and then my little flip flops gave out, and I started sliding down the hill that was right there, and I maintained eye contact the whole entire time, and then just picked myself back up, climbed back up the hill, and you know what? He goes to Texas Tech.
Oh my God! Wait, can you?
nice.
Can you tell us his name?
No, that's classified.
my
Maybe off air.
Off air.
But yeah, that did happen. But
Can you tell us what his major is?
I actually don't
what,
know.
What
I haven't-
college he might be in.
Have you run into him?
no, I
or-
haven't. My guess would probably be like the business college, but I don't know for sure.
Would
Should
you
text
regale
him, say, let's
with
go to the
story
playground.
again?
Yeah, I doubt he remembers that even. Oh my gosh, no, another embarrassing moment also when I was a child, it was a different boy. He lived in my neighborhood, and we loved to like prank him, you know? And so our idea of a prank, me and my friends, was pouring loose dirt on his sidewalk. And so we did,
Okay.
and his mom came out, and she's like, hey, what are you doing? And I was like, I literally peed my pants. I was like, nothing. She goes, did you put dirt on my sidewalk? And I was like, yes.
Oh, at
And
least
she
you
was
admitted
just
it.
she was just pulling my chain, like she didn't care at all, but it was so scary.
Yeah.
All right, one more story, then I gotta go.
Okay.
My embarrassing, it's not really an embarrassing moment. I guess I should have been embarrassed of this. I hated baseball so much growing up because I was in Little League Baseball. So I would literally defecate my pants
Yeah.
so I could, like,
No, what age?
Okay.
You have to admit what age.
like 6, 7.
That's too old. That's way too old to be doing that. That's way too old.
You know what, Perry? Hey,
I'm
Perry number
disgusted.
2.
I'm
No,
disgusted.
she's actually, we're both Perry number 1 because we spell our names differently.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
okay.
it's valid.
Okay, so Perry number 2.
Perry R and Perry.
Perry 2
normal.
R is Perry
Oh,
1
we did
R.
say
Alright.
we did say the last time that like you're Perry 1 because you have 1 R and
Yeah.
you're Perry 2 because you have 2 R's.
Right.
So it's based off the R
Hold on.
system.
I want one more analysis on that, Jake. So
Uh-huh.
you were doing this as an act of revenge or
No, I
boredom, or-
knew doing that is an embarrassing
revenge
act.
pooper.
No, I knew that was an embarrassing act, And so it'd be like, oh, he's got to go home.
Oh,
he
yeah.
did his pants.
That's
And-
kind of
You're
meta for
pet
6-year-olds.
Sociopathic.
So
Yeah.
how would your parents react? Like when they would just see you?
They're like, he did it again.
They take him to therapy.
When your
They're like,
parents
stop doing
He's a
this.
See,
chronic
I
pooper.
was what you call a dumb child. Like, I would like...
No, that's just a child, Jake.
No.
I was extra dumb. I remember I was a
Extra.
catcher for the little league team, and I would like high five them as they scored on us because I didn't like get it, so I just high
Well,
five them.
you're a child.
And my helmet was too heavy for me, so I would fall asleep during the game a lot.
like Chicken Little.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
And I remember one time I went to the wrong dugout, and I was giving them their bats.
What?
Yeah.
I'm confused.
I don't remember this event. My mom told me this happened.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So I have no recollection of this event happening.
They're
But I was
like,
in their
"Dude, what are you
dugout.
doing here?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you just didn't know
They
what the game had to
they knew
play.
before I knew that I was in special ed. They knew.
Yeah.
I was not aware of it. But they knew.
Well, good luck at your stand-up
Yeah.
today.
have fun.
I'm going to talk
Let's
about my
take-
most embarrassing moments.
Yeah, do
Let's
it.
Take this away
It's
from me now.
content.
Yeah.
It's content. Well, does anybody else have an embarrassing moment either from childhood or from recently?
I don't think any of us can top him purposely crapping his pants.
What
I mean, that is quite literally the highlight.
Like, did your parents have to hose you down?
Did your parents hose you
Or
down?
did they just take you home?
like give you a bath?
Huh?
After you defecated, did they give you a bath and like hose you down?
Just go home and play video games.
You play video games, yeah.
Always
you life hacked
back to
that.
video
So, how many
games.
times did it have to take
Yeah,
before they were
how
finally
many,
like,
like,
all right,
Venus
we're
doesn't
taking him
like
out?
baseball.
For some reason, I did this as a child. Like, there's in our house, there's my room,
Yeah.
and there's our bathroom, and then there's my little brother's room. For some
Did
reason,
you go to Jack and Jill bathroom?
I don't know, but I would go into my brother's room behind his bed. Like he had the bed was in the corner,
No,
so
don't
I would
like-
pee in
I
the
don't like where this
corner
is
But
going.
why?
into the carpet.
Why?
I don't know.
No.
I was
What?
and the only way that I got in trouble was that my mom kind of caught on to it, and I would say, "No, of course I didn't do that." But she told me there was cameras in the teddy bears.
Stop.
And I admitted that I peed.
Your parents were
behind
watching
his
you.
bed.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you don't do that anymore that we know of.
Oh wow.
God.
If you have
I
any
don't
secrets
know.
to share,
I have a lot of secrets.
sounds like it.
I'm leaving to go tell strangers.
Is your secrets?
And
Okay.
keep in mind, Perry, this is the one he felt comfortable saying on
I
air.
know.
Yeah, interesting.
That scares me.
That means there's probably a whole lot worse.
That's very scary.
Well, I've had a couple. I try not to get embarrassed too much at college because every time I do trip or do something embarrassing, I'm like, no one knows who I am.
Yeah.
Like they won't remember,
Yeah.
so it's fine. But one of my most embarrassing moments, actually, no one witnessed. But it still is embarrassing. I was coming to work this summer, and it was just after it had rained, and all of the rain washed the dirt onto the sidewalk. And so it was no longer dirt, it was mud. And for some reason, I thought I could scooter through it. I could not scooter through it, and I took a landslide in the mud on my way to work. But no one was around to see it.
Yeah.
So I just cried. And then I called my mom and I was like, I just fell. Even when you're 20 years old, you have those moments. And I
Yeah.
was like, Mom, I'm hurt. And I went to my car and I took a bunch of wet wipes and just wiped all the mud off and I went to work.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
as
all
you do.
can do.
Yeah, because I was like, if I go home, I'm going to feel even more defeated.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
I just went to work. And
Well, and also, it is embarrassing, but I don't think anybody would be like, "Ew, she's got mud." They're just
Yeah.
like,
They'd just be
okay.
like,
well,
that
it's just
sucks."
embarrassing. If someone comes up to me and he's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Oh, yeah,
"Oh,
that's embarrassing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was
And
gonna
it's
say,
like,
if anything, they'd just be concerned
just
that you hurt
ignore
yourself.
it. Yeah, I tripped on my scooter walking into the building the other day. I don't even know how I stepped on it, but I was like, just keep walking. No one's gonna think twice. Just keep going. But I think it's so embarrassing when people fall on campus. I
Yeah.
try not to look at them and pretend I didn't see it. I don't know why.
There was one time a girl fainted in the middle of the hallway, and
Yeah.
it was one of those things where everyone was like, what do we do? She was just on the floor, and she didn't have any friends or anything around her at the time. It was in between classes at 8 a.m. She was just on the floor, and we were all like, okay, who do we
Yeah.
find? Who do we grab? It's not like there's a nurse in the building or anything like that. And a couple seconds went by, she just got up and walked away, and we were like, what just happened?
I love
As she
that.
should.
just got
Queen-
up and got off.
Queen behavior. Fainting is so embarrassing too. I remember in high school someone fainted and it was the talk of the town for so long. For whatever reason, we were all just like, oh, did you hear that he fainted?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Which is such a weird thing to get hung up about. But
Yeah.
we're all like,
It's just a little
this person
gossipy.
fainted.
I don't know if any of you were ever in theater, but there's nothing
I
more
was.
intimidating
I
when you
was.
forget your lines and everybody's staring at you.
Okay, this is off topic, but it's also not. I was telling Nathan today, I have this reoccurring dream. It's not the same every single time, but it's the same premise that I am in a play and I have to go on and I don't know any of my lines. But I never did theater growing up, so I don't know why I have that dream all the time, but I do.
Maybe your life's
You need to,
a
you need
show.
to like you need to like find someone who analyzes dreams and
Yeah.
ask them what it means.
But last night I was the Grinch in The Grinch.
Oh my god.
And I didn't know any of my lines and I was the main character.
They're like, you have to go out.
Yeah.
Were you all green and everything too?
Yeah, I had like a little mask.
Maybe that's why I don't know shame though, because like that got
The theater kid.
bred out of you immediately
yeah.
in theater.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not like a psychiatrist or anything, but I feel like the meaning of that dream is just like maybe you have a fear of being like thrown out in the middle
Yeah.
of nowhere and
Yeah, I was
being
gonna say, maybe it's like
unprepared.
Aren't you a
A fear of the
Taurus? That
unknown,
probably
the
is your worst
future.
nightmare, being
Yeah.
unprepared.
Yeah. But I feel like that could manifest in so many ways, but it manifested in forgetting my lines. I don't know. But yeah, I think I've had a lot of embarrassing moments, but you just kind of gloss
Roll with
over
the
them. Like, who
punches,
cares at this point, you know?
Well, the thing about like the theater thing with mine that was really embarrassing was like I started saying my lines, and then some random dude in the audience that I guess I knew was like, "Hey, that's Skylar!"
Oh no.
And like I'm like,
Oh,
what was I saying?
embarrassing.
Oh, Skylar.
okay.
so
I will.
Well, and of course he throws my name out there
That
too.
Yeah.
so-
okay. You reminded me of something that I guess I would consider embarrassing. My freshman year of high school, I was in a play, and I get killed right in the beginning. But I also don't actually. But that's not important. I get
Wait,
killed.
you didn't actually die?
No.
Whoa.
I get killed right in the beginning, and what it is there's a person hiding behind a curtain, and they stab me. But when we went to do the show that night, the person wasn't behind the curtain, and I was like, what am I supposed to do? Because I'm supposed to turn around and get stabbed, and like that's how like I die. Like in the first, like that's the first thing that happens in the show. So I like was like racking my brain. I'm like 15, and it's my first show ever. I'm like racking my brain on what to do. So I was like, oh, I'll just faint, as if that would fix it, because there's also then no one on stage to take me off stage when like my dead corpse is supposed to be dragged off stage. And like I was like starting to panic, so I just started like face palming onto the floor, and luckily the person who was supposed to stab me had been waiting on the other side of the doors, because it was like I checked the doors to like these I checked the curtains to these French doors, but like they hadn't made it to their spot in time, so they were waiting for me to turn around, but I never turned around. I just tried fainting backwards, so they rushed in and pretended to stab me in the chest and like caught me as fast as they could, and I almost like completely fell down.
Dude, that's an exclusive show.
Yeah, it
Wow.
was, and like afterward they're like, why did you do that? And I was like, I don't know, I panicked, so I just told myself to faint.
Yeah, no, you
Well, it's
improv.
also like awkward too because it's like whoever's watching is like, wait, what happened to her character? She just like fainted or
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're like, what? They're like, okay, so you kind of died of a heart attack tonight instead of a stabbing, because it didn't really look like a stabbing, but
Who cares?
who cares? It
It was a creative take.
was a creative take.
Yeah. What are you going to do? I don't know if it's necessarily embarrassing, but there was a lot of moments I had like that when I did dance. And it's like you're the only person up there, and it's like, oh.
Yeah, I was like, ooh.
Ooh.
What's worse, I don't know, like, I did dance as, like, my PE credit in high school.
Yeah.
And it's almost worse when, like, you're the only one who does know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like there was one time where, like, everyone missed their cue except me, but then I looked like I was wrong because I did
Yeah.
it on time, but everyone else had actually done it wrong, and it's because, like, we were supposed to go on stage at a certain time for, like, the recital.
Yeah.
And I was the only one that went on when we were supposed to, so then I just looked like a dummy, and I was like, oh.
You're like, actually, guys, I'm right.
I was like, none of the audience knows this, but I'm the only one that's right here.
Yeah.
Even though it looks like I'm wrong because I'm the only one that's doing this.
Did you say you did dance as well, Perry?
Yes, I did.
So what kind of dancing did you do?
I was on drill team my freshman through junior year of high school.
Ooh,
Oh,
that
okay.
takes
So it was
guts.
kind of like not cheerleading per se, but kind of
No.
like that.
Well, yeah, it's like drill team is the one with the boots and the hats, and they go out during
Like
halftime.
Yeah, it's a mix
squad?
of
Yeah.
like, it's a mix of like straight up cheerleading and like straight up dance.
Yeah, but we do like more cheerleading. I wouldn't say cheerleading, but you know, like
It's like cheerleading without the stunts, but not
yeah,
really.
it's like that. We do that kind of stuff during football season, but then once football season's over, we do more dance stuff.
I was a
Did you ever
cheerleader,
like
so.
miss
Yeah.
your cue or there was miscommunication or something?
Well, it was like, what was most embarrassing is like sometimes I was an officer my sophomore year, and so it would be only 5 people on stage, and it's like, oh, if you fall out of a turn, if you miss a leap, if your leap isn't as high as the other girls, it's
Yeah,
noticeable.
I was a cheerleader, and like that was one of like the worst things. Is like I was a flyer, right?
Yeah.
And so like whenever we'd fall from a stunt, usually it wasn't like sometimes it was my fault, but usually it wasn't my fault. It was like my base didn't grab me right a lot
Yeah.
of the time. And it's like the worst thing is like we're coming down and it's so embarrassing that like you fell when everyone else goes up, even though it's like not your fault. It's the people who are supposed to lift you's fault.
Yeah.
It's like the worst thing.
But they don't know.
Because then I'm like, I just looked dumb because I fell. But in reality, I was almost dropped from like 5 feet in the air, and it's horrifying.
But they were fun. Those are fun days. I miss high school drill teams sometimes, but what are you going to do?
Does college have a drill team? Or
They have Palm
Yeah,
Squad, but
we
it's
have
like
Palm Squad.
you have to be really good to be on Palm Squad.
Yeah.
We have a good Palm Squad too. Like they've like won a lot of national titles.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're very good. I've seen them when we went to a national competition. I got to watch the Tech Palm Squad, and I was like, OMG.
Their coach was my teacher for
Yeah?
Movement of the Actor.
All right, any last embarrassing moments we want to share with the public?
Yeah, what about you two? We let Jake talk and me and Perry talk.
I
What are
feel-
your most embarrassing moments?
I gave one. You
Yeah.
got one other, Perry?
Let me think. I feel like I embarrass myself often, but I'm just used to it, so it doesn't really
Yeah.
stick in my brain a lot. Honestly, I
Well,
think I do a lot of.
I've had
embarrassing
some flubs on air, you know, when you're like trying to say one word and another word comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like I've said some things that are inappropriate, but I don't mean to. It's just what comes out of my mouth because I'm trying to say 2 words at once.
Oh, yeah, biology. Freshman year of high school, I went to read the word organism.
Oh, no.
And
Lord, I don't even wanna
I'll
know.
let you piece together what I accidentally said instead when I was reading it out loud.
Yeah.
But I didn't like recognize that I'd said the wrong thing, so I just like kept going, and it wasn't until like a couple sentences later I was like, I did not say
Yeah.
organism.
That's funny.
There's a lot of embarrassing moments, like when you're little and you don't know a word, and someone's like they mention a word, you're like, oh, okay, and they're like, what is it?
Oh
Like, what's
my
the
gosh,
definition?
I hate
You're like,
that.
This
I was
wasn't-
just trying to blend in. I don't know.
I wasn't embarrassed by this, but this is definitely something that should be considered embarrassing. I asked my principal what a virgin was when I was in 5th grade.
Why?
Yeah, you're just trying to get educated.
Because I had heard the song Like a Surgeon by Weird Al Yankovic, and I looked up what the original song was, Like a Virgin from Madonna, but I didn't know what a virgin was, so I asked him what a virgin was, and he was like, what? It was like right before STAR testing, and I was like, yeah, what's a virgin? And he was like, why do you want to know? And I was like, well, because, and I told him like the whole like a surgeon, like a virgin thing, and he was like, oh, it's someone who didn't finish med school. And I was like, okay.
What?
Yeah, Madonna wrote a whole song about that.
Yeah. And I was like, in 5th
It was
grade, I didn't think it
very
through.
off.
And like looking back, that's a horrible thing for a 5th grade girl to ask her male principal. But like I wasn't embarrassed at the time, and I'm still not really embarrassed.
Yeah,
but
you're a
it's
kid.
definitely like a cringe moment.
I think it's funny.
I think it's funny too.
Me and Ainsley have talked about it, but I had almost the exact same thing happen, but it was with my mom and my dad. My mom just tried to kind of downplay it, like, oh, it just means you haven't done something before. So I was like, oh, okay. And I started singing it. My dad, I guess, heard, and he immediately confronted her. Was like, what did you?
Tell him. Yeah.
Aw.
It's so horrible, like, as a kid not knowing that kind of stuff.
I don't remember asking my parents that. I feel like I just kind of was a kid of the internet, so I didn't really any questions I had. I feel like
I asked my
Google
parents
answered
that.
them.
I did just because we were watching a show, and, like, one of the characters was like, I'm a virgin. And I was like, what does that even mean? And my parents were like, it just means she's not experienced with men.
Good for your parents.
Yeah.
Good for
That's
your
at least
parents.
more truthful than what we got. At
Yeah,
least.
yeah. But
Yeah.
I was like, okay. I just, I'm like, oh, that means they haven't had a kiss before.
A kiss.
You know, I just accepted it. But I it's so weird thinking back on it because I never heard the whole stork story when I was growing up.
I never got that
Me
either.
I just
either.
accept, like, I don't even remember ever asking about pregnancy. It was just like one of those things I accepted. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
I just knew it happened.
That's
Yeah.
always like a parody thing they talk about in movies and TV show. Like, where do babies come from? You know,
Yeah.
but
I
it's
feel like maybe that's like a
that
product
never
of
really
the older
happened,
generation,
though.
though.
It
Like
was
they
just like,
got
We
okay.
have like a talk in school, in elementary school. We had like a whole segment where they told us like it was like days of a unit just on pregnancy, ovulation, babies
No.
being born. And
I
that
feel
was in,
like you
5th
aren't,
grade.
your brain isn't formed enough to understand what all of that means, you know?
Not at all.
Yeah.
No, we didn't do that.
Because I remember they had that kind of like what puberty talk in 5th grade, but it's like I don't even know what that means. You know, when you're like 10, I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
Yeah, it's just kind of like words being spoken to you.
Yeah.
You don't really understand it fully yet.
I mean, I remember like the 5th grade puberty talk, but middle school when they started doing like the sex units, that was
Oh.
always so awkward because the teacher never wanted to teach it. They just wanted,
Really?
yeah, or
Yeah.
at least ours. They just wanted, they just wanted to teach science.
No.
But it's like, we have to teach this.
Oh, we-
Okay. And you got like the immature kids. It's like this is a penis, and they're like, oh.
We
Yeah.
had like a full blown like circle where like we had to like pull like scenario cards and
my
like play
gosh.
STD games to see
my
how,
gosh.
how fast
Horrible.
they can
That's-
spread.
No, that's
What?
amazing
Yes.
considered to.
Yeah, and we even had like an online curriculum program where it was like
No, in
taking you through storylines.
gosh.
And
In sixth grade,
it
they
was very
separated the boys and
in-depth,
the
at least
girls.
at my school.
They didn't make ours fun. It was just awkward and sad.
PowerPoint.
No, in sixth grade, they separated the boys and girls for like an hour. It was like in replacement of our PE that day, and they just very quickly told us. I don't know what they told the boys, but for the girls, they're like, "Hey, you're gonna get a period. This is what a period is. Don't have sex," and that was it until high school. Sophomore year of high school, when we had like a unit on sex ed in our health class.
Yeah, we had to do that in health class. But it was very weird because my high school, like, I don't know if this is just every school in America or if this was just my school, but they didn't really teach the important stuff. You know, they're just kind of like, this is what an STD is, but they don't tell you, like, how to prevent it, how you can really get it. You know, like, they
No,
just
they
kind of, like,
just
let you
said-
They tried
infer.
to
They just
kinda
said, "Don't have
underplay-
sex." They
Yeah.
showed us birthing videos, and
Yeah.
that was it.
you guys watched birthing videos?
Yes, we had to watch
Yeah.
a C-section and not a live birth, but like
We did
it was
not.
a video of a natural birth, and they just said don't have sex.
But they-
and that was
Well,
the entire
and they
unit.
always pick the most extreme like STD photos ever, where it's
Oh,
like they,
syphilis and
yeah,
stuff like
yeah,
that.
and like they're like untreated for like 30 years.
I
or whatever.
know, yeah.
And it's like honestly, if you actually had it, you wouldn't even know because they use the most extreme photos.
Yeah, and my school mostly teached abstinence, and I was like, that's not really, because,
Well,
anyways.
we're in Texas, right?
Yeah.
My school
That's why.
didn't though. Like I
You just-
remember they talked to us about STIs, STDs. They talked to us about condoms.
Well,
Where are you
they
from?
didn't really.
Talked about
They
it.
told us like
Perry, where did
absent-
you go to school?
I went to school in Spring, Texas, so it's like a suburb of Houston. So that I don't know
Yeah.
if that changes it in any way.
Well, they
but-
talked about it in ours, but they super downplayed like birth control and stuff. They're just
Oh.
like, condoms exist, but they don't really work. So.
I don't even remember
really?
talking about that. Well, they do try to scare you because they're all, you know, but I'm like, you know, kids are going to have sex anyway. You got to tell
But
them.
like they didn't talk
No.
about the pill. They didn't talk about the
No.
ring.
No.
Yeah, no,
they
not
didn't
at
talk about
all.
any of that other stuff.
I
They're just
went
like condoms exist, but
I went
they
in
don't
expecting
work.
them to like make me put a condom on a banana or
Yeah.
a cucumber. Nope.
We learned
Yeah,
CPR.
we didn't even get
didn't
that.
even touch that.
They didn't even
Yeah.
do the banana. They're just like
Yeah.
they exist.
Do you know
don't
that
use them.
that scene in 17 again when they give condoms to all the students?
Yeah.
That's not real.
No,
Yeah,
that's
none
not
of-
real
none
at
of that's
all.
real.
And they weren't doing that to us. We were only in 8th grade, so I'm glad they weren't giving us
Yeah.
condoms. Like,
Yeah.
that would be weird.
I will say when I went to South Plains College, it was pretty interesting because as soon as you went into the dorms, there was just a huge like thing with free condoms or whatever, and it was like
Well,
that's
super
like what
big and
Rise
bold.
does.
And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, this is different.
Rise,
Well, it's-
Rise gives out condoms.
That's
makes
the
sense.
thing is like so many people aren't educated about that kind of stuff, and I feel like a lot of the times when I'm having conversations with my friends, they're like, "How do you know that?" And I was like, "Because I checked out a book from the library and read it because I wanted to know."
Yeah.
And sometimes it's too embarrassing to ask your parents.
Yeah,
So-
a lot I learned from just my mom would watch soap operas, but she didn't realize I was watching them with her at the same
Yeah.
time. So I knew what like sex and pregnancy was way before anybody ever had
Yeah.
to tell me.
I feel like I always think about if I was a celebrity, what would be the thing that I would advocate for, and mine would be sex education.
Yeah.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah,
I think it's
for
so
sure.
important. But anyways, I thought
It's
this was
so
a very good. We had some good conversations today. I'm really
We
happy
did,
with
we
that.
did.
So thank you guys for coming. Thanks for being here late, especially because I'm like falling asleep as we speak. But hopefully, maybe we'll be able to squeeze one more Pod Dammit in before the end of November. Had to take a look at the schedule because I feel like isn't 2 weeks from now Thanksgiving?
It was pretty much just this
Ooh.
the upcoming week, Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
and then I guess it would technically be December.
So there's
Yeah, it
next
would be
week.
December. Yeah.
There's next week. The week after is Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
and so then the next Thursday after that is December.
Can you
2nd.
clarify
Okay.
something for me, Perry?
Yes.
So December 2nd is when Dead Day is, right?
It's either the first or the second.
Okay, so when it
think
is
it's
our
the
last
first.
day, like
Yeah.
is that on Dead Day or like Dead Day like marks the end of it?
You can work. I don't know if you can work up until your graduation date. You might have to ask DG about that, but you can work. You just can't be on air because being on air counts as a student activity. And so that's what, but you can still get your paycheck.
Well, but I'm saying like on air, like on December 2nd.
I don't think so. I think once Dead Day hits, it's like you're done
Okay.
because you're supposed to be focusing on finals and
gotcha.
all of that. All right.
Interesting.
Well, there we go. All in all, thank you guys for showing up.
Yeah.
And if you have any more questions, you can DM us on social media, all at the Raider 88.1. Let me get our outro song up in here. I'm really pleased with myself for knowing how to work the board today.
We're so proud of you.
Yeah, it's not like it's my job or anything, but either way. If you want to know more stuff about KTXT, we have Good Morning Texas Tech tomorrow at 8 a.m. That'll be interesting as well because DG is not here, so hopefully Ruth will be here running the board. But if she's not, I will be. So if you want to see...
Jared gonna be there tomorrow?
No. Yeah. So, I mean, I know how to do it, but it's been a hot minute, so we will see how it goes. Anyways, that'll be interesting. We also have some great shows coming up tomorrow, and there is the women's basketball game tonight. So if you were not already there, you can go ahead and find all those details about that on KTXT_sports on Twitter, because our sports team is on it. I believe Nathan and Vanessa are there tonight. So we got a lot of stuff going on. Make sure to tune in and come to Carol of the Lights on November 30th. KTXT will be there handing out hot chocolate for free, baby. What could be more fun than that? All right, that's all I got off the top of my head for events for the rest of the year. But remember to stay tuned and keep it locked to the left.